Hey everyone, this is Pat signing in, and in this video, we're going to talk about LinkedIn, more specifically, how to find high-paying clients, whether coaching or consulting clients on LinkedIn. And before I even explain how you can do this, the first question I have for you is LinkedIn the right platform for you? Right? A lot of people, they come to me and their first question is, Pat, like, should I go on LinkedIn? And whenever I get this, I get this question maybe 10 times a week minimum. And I always fire the same question back. It depends. Are your clients on LinkedIn? Because LinkedIn is a great platform. I mean, there's 600 million people on LinkedIn. 200 million of those are active, meaning that they log regularly on the platform. So there's a lot of people there. But if your niche are farmers, for example, and they're not on LinkedIn, then or actors and they're not on LinkedIn, or like artists, whatever, then maybe LinkedIn is not your best platform. So the first question is, are your clients on LinkedIn? The best way to find this is to find out about this is to go on the platform and do some searches. On LinkedIn, you can actually use some filters and you can try to see if you could find the people that you serve. Now, if they're there, and most of you guys watching this, they will be there because LinkedIn is now really established. Almost everyone's there, but in some cases they're not. If they are, then it's rock and roll. Then we can do something good, and we're going to be talking about this. So this video, I'm assuming that your niche, they are on LinkedIn. Okay, so the first thing you're going to be doing, and this is going to be like rather a tactical video today. Like take a pen and paper, and take some notes down here. So the first thing you're going to be doing is you will go and grab the Sales Navigator, which is a paid option of LinkedIn. And you want to grab Sales Navigator for two reasons. The first one is there's more filtering capability with Sales Navigator. And this is really useful because it allows you to really zoom in the people you're going after. So for example, if you want to work with HR leaders, let's say your clients are HR leaders, okay? With the regular LinkedIn, you can go and you'll have access to the title. So you could say, okay, give me all the HR leaders in New York or in the United States or in Portugal, whichever. That's going to be pretty much it. And then you'll get like a bunch of HR leaders. But maybe if you know your niche well, maybe you don't want to talk to the HR leaders that they just moved in their role, because you know that within their first 6 months or even their first year, they're so stressed and they're just trying to find their bearings and they don't want to mess anything up in the company. And they're certainly not at a point where they're looking to hire someone like you to come in the company and help them. So you don't want to talk to the HR leaders who've been in the company for less than a year. And on the other end of the spectrum, maybe you don't want to talk to HR leaders who've been there for more than 20 years. Because if that person's been there for 20 plus years, maybe you know by now that chances are high that they're not going to move anymore. Like they're not actively trying to change everything in their department or in the business where they work. So with Sales Navigator, you get to be much more precise on a bunch of things, which really allows you to zoom in the right people. And that's important because if you're going to use LinkedIn to find clients, you need to find the right people. Because if you keep talking to people who are not quite the right fit, you're just wasting your time. The second reason why LinkedIn you want to go with Sales Navigator is because if you just use the basic version, and this is something almost everyone doesn't know, if you use the basic version, you're cutting yourself out of about 98% of your market. Right? When you search for these HR leaders, you won't see 98% of those people in your results. And the reason why is on LinkedIn, people are separated by degrees, right? So when you're connected with someone, you're like your LinkedIn friends, right? Contact, you are a first degree connection. Their friends, so you're not connected with their friends, but like the friends of your friends, they're second degree connection. And with the basic LinkedIn, which pretty much everyone has, that's all they have access to. So you have the people you're already connected to and their friends, and that's it. So if you've got 1,000 people on your LinkedIn that are connected to you, you just have access to their friends. And it's not, like, it could be a good number, but if you're looking for all the HR leaders, for example, in the United States, that won't cut it, right? So what you want is getting Sales Navigator, which will open up the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th plus degree connection, right? You know how they say around the planet, like, everyone's at a 6th degree connection or less. So that gives you 99.9% of the population. So this is the 2 reasons why you want to go with Sales Navigator. So how do you do it? How do you use LinkedIn to grow your consulting or your coaching business? Because that's what I did. I started when I started, I used LinkedIn. I wasn't going after HR leaders. So, like, my niche when I started were tech startup founders that needed help with their sales. They were at a specific point. They needed to grow the business. They needed to come with, like, a sales process, and like a funnel where they would understand where they're getting the leads and turning these leads into paying clients. And I use LinkedIn to find all of my business and to generate a bunch of sales calls with potential clients. And LinkedIn's been really good to me. And I teach that also to my clients. So LinkedIn's really good to my clients. And so how do you do that, right? Well, we may call it LinkedIn, but it's like, we're not reinventing the wheel here. On LinkedIn, there are people, right? It's people to people. It's not B2B, B2C, like, it's, people to people. So your clients are somewhere on LinkedIn. So you're going to have to find them. You're going to have to connect with them, right? You find them, you connect with them, you engage with them. Like, they don't know you. So you're going to have to, like, hey, I exist, right? And then you're going to have to, like, get them interested enough that they're like, hey, you know what, Pat? Like, yes, let's go on a call. Like, let's talk it out, because maybe you can help me. And then when you go outside of LinkedIn, then you do your thing. You do the sales call, and you look for the ones who are actually a good fit. And when they are, you make your offer. And then some will say yes, some will say no. So what? Who's next? We used to say that in sales, like, some say yes, some say no. So what? Who's next? It was just a way to kind of mentally toughen up whenever we had, like, a bunch of people saying no in a row, because sometimes it can wear you down. So there's 2 concepts here that are important. You want to go with both quantity and quality. Quantity means you want to connect with as many people as possible, because if you just connect with 3 people a day, like, it's going to take forever to find your clients, or it's going to take forever to grow your network to a point where you've got enough people that are seeing your stuff you're going to be putting out there, and you won't get results, or it's going to take a long time for you to do anything good with LinkedIn. So it's all about the quantity, but it's also about the quality. So, for example, if you're just trying to add anyone, and most of these people are not even, like, in your niche, right? So they're not people that are likely to have the problem that you're actually solving with your offer, then nothing much can happen. And also, like, if you just like machine gun, like, an offer, like, hey, my name is Pat, like, this is what I do. Do you need help with this? That doesn't work anymore. That used to work on LinkedIn 10 years back, because I was using LinkedIn 10 years back when I was in the corporate sector and I was a sales guy. I would use LinkedIn. Back then, it was amazing. Back then, I could, like, 10 or 11 years ago, I could write on LinkedIn. I would send a private message to a Fortune 100 senior VP. And the guy, like, Sunday night, and the guy was, like, home. He was like, oh, Marta. His wife's Martha. I got a message from this guy named Patrick on LinkedIn. It was so new that everyone would answer. Like, it was wow, holy shit. It's like, the very first fax coming in, right? Everyone's excited, like, holy shit, a fax coming in. So these were, like, the golden years of LinkedIn. That was, like, 10 years ago. Today, that doesn't work anymore, because, everyone's, like, just pitching and it doesn't work. Plus you feel like shit when you do that, because you're like, really, like, is that why I wanted to launch my coaching or my consulting business or my agency, to be like some sleazy person that just pitches all day to everyone? So that doesn't work. So quantity and also quality. So like, what do I mean by quality? And I'm going to talk about that in a sec. So the first step, if you know that these people are on LinkedIn, what do you want to do? You want to connect with them, and you want to connect with a lot of them. Myself personally, I connect with about 150 people every day. So mark that down, 150. I use Sales Navigator. I find the right people, and every day I send 150 connection requests. I don't use, like, there's some bots out there, some tools you can use to kind of automate that part. Don't do it. It's against LinkedIn's terms of service. It can get you restricted. Your account can get you banned eventually. Don't do it. So there's a way, though, to do this so that it takes you 50 minutes. So experiment with that. I won't go into like a full in-depth training, but if you want more information, I'll leave a link at the bottom, and more than happy to give you more info on that. But there's a way to connect with 150 people a day in under 15 minutes, and the right people. So, you connect with those. Then what? Well, you come in the next day, and there's gonna be a bunch of these people who will have connected with you. They will have accepted connecting with you. Now, on average, let's say you get 30%. So you go to 150 people, let's say 33% to make like round numbers. So 50 of those will have accepted your connection request. Cool. So every day you're growing your LinkedIn account with 50 new connections right in your niche, like, because they're really well targeted if you did that correctly. So in a month, that's 50 times 30 days, 1,100 new connections every month. They're all like, they're perfectly, like, they fit your niche. Maybe they don't have the problem that you can solve just yet, but they're all like potential clients. That's already pretty cool for 15 minutes of work per day. All right. So then what you do? Well, you've just connected with them. So you got to do something, because if you don't do anything, they won't, like, 99.99% of them won't come to you and say, hey man, like, I checked your profile and yeah, I need your help. It's going to happen if your profile is really solid. It's going to happen to you maybe once, like it happens to me like once or twice a month. So it's not about that. It's cool when it happens, but you won't scale, you won't grow rapidly just with that. It's like a bonus. It's like a gift. So what do you do next? You want to essentially start a conversation. You want to introduce yourself. You want to get to know them. And notice what I'm saying here. Start a conversation. You don't want to pitch them. It's like boy meets girl at a bar, right? You go to the girl, or you go to the guy if you're a girl. You introduce, and you lock eyes. You smile. The other person smiles. You come. You by the next person. Shake hand. Hey, my name is Patrick. What's your name? Right? Start a conversation. Not, here's my business card, honey. If you've got nothing else to do tonight, like, come to my place. It's creepy. No one wants that. And it's the same thing on LinkedIn or Facebook or like whichever way you're doing business. So you start a conversation with them. Hey Julie, great connecting. I saw that you've been the head of HR at that company for a little bit over a year. Congrats. How's everything going over there? Start a conversation. That's it. Very simple. Now, out of the 50 people who will have connected with you, you start these conversations. You can have always the same message to start. It doesn't have to be different messages. You don't have to go on their profile and try to make it perfect. Just because if you do that, there's a lot of people that they'll never even answer you because maybe they don't go on LinkedIn that often. So don't spend time at the top of your funnel, because what we're actually doing right now is we're giving you a funnel. And for those of you who don't know what a funnel is, it's like imagine a funnel where you've got some people coming in at the top, and you qualify, and then at the bottom you get some clients that come out of it, right? So this is a funnel. The top of the funnel is you're adding people, 150 of them, sending connection requests, right? Then 50 of them accepted connecting with you. You're going to start conversations with these 50. Then it's going to be, I don't know, like maybe 15 of them will answer, right? They'll reply to you. And then you're going to start a conversation with these 15 people. And the goal, like this is where people get it wrong, right? Pat, how do we do conversations? Do I go in and do I like pitch, or do I just chat and stay super chill? It's between these two extremes. If you just go in and pitch really quickly, no one likes that. And if you just waste their time and you waste your time, and you just like, no one wants to have like a pen pal on LinkedIn. No one wants just to chat with a pure stranger with no end to it. So you're going in, you're opening a relationship. At the same time, you're going to qualify them. Hey, Julie, I saw that you just, you've been there for a bit over a year now. How are things going? Oh, things are going great. Cool. And let's say, I don't know, let's say I'm someone who helps with the mindset of employees. Let's say I'm a growth mindset coach, and I go in, and my service is I go in there and I do workshops on mindset, so that employees are more growth mindset, more innovation, more like, maybe I just invented a service here. I've never done that, but maybe that's a thing, right? Then I'd be like, cool, perfect. And then, the second question could be, I don't know, I'm going to make one on the fly. So I would say, help me out here. What would we say, right? Okay, when it comes to your teams, like basically, are you guys big on training, for example? Like you got to come up with a question and that's the trick here. And it's going to take you a little bit of time, right? In this case, it's hard for me to come up with something on the fly because it's not my niche. But you want to find like 2 or 3 questions that will bring that person to letting you know if yes or no she could be a good fit, right? And maybe at the end of that little conversations, you'll know that they do training, they're all about the growth mindset, right? They like in their field, maybe like they're in tech, I don't know, and innovation is really important. So they need employees who are actually open to pivoting and trying new stuff, and they don't take failure personally, because like it's just a rapid growth, like rapid pace of growth and stuff like that. And so with the conversation, at one point you're like, well, like Julie, like that's actually what I do. Like I'm a growth mindset coach for companies in the tech sector. And basically I come in and I help employees become more growth mindset. And what it does, it helps with productivity, innovation. It even increases, like, it improves the culture, because people are more like open to getting feedback from their peers and their boss, and like they don't take it personal anymore when their ideas are not, are not selected and stuff. Is that something that's relevant to you, right? So at one point you do a conversation, you get to that point, and some people will say, yeah, like that's really interesting. Like, how does it work? And some people will say, yeah, no, like not really, like we're good. And that's okay, because you do quantity and quality. So you connect with 150 people a day. 50 of those will accept connecting with you. You start conversations. 15 people out of the 50 will engage in a conversation with you. And you get to a point where you're going to make about like 3 or 4 offers, meaning you'll ask them, like, is that relevant to you? And out of the 3 or 4, you're going to have like maybe 1 or 2 a day will say, yeah, that's relevant. Like, what do you have in mind? Well, Julie, like, I don't know at this point. But I think this is worth a 15-minute convo. So can I call you now, or like, can I call you tomorrow? Urgency is key here. Can I call you now? Like, do you have 15 minutes now, or can I call you later today or tomorrow morning? I'll let you know. Like, I'll just ask you a few questions just to see if you fit what I do, right? And if you do, then I can tell you like who I've worked for and what kind of results they've been getting, and what this could look like for you guys. Oh, cool. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Cool. Okay. Cool. Well, Julie, what's your number? Take the number down. Julie, what's your email? I'm gonna lock this in for you so that you don't forget about it, and we can show up. If you can't show up, just let me know in advance, because I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste your time. Okay, yeah, Pat, for sure, I'm gonna be there. Perfect, and that's it. And when I say that I book 40 or 50 calls a month, it looks like a big number, but when you make like these 2 offers or these 4 offers a day, that's my I got to make these 4 offers a day. Then it's you make like 100 to 120 offers in a month, then it's normal that you book 30, 40, 50 calls. That's how it is. Now, that's only the first part of how you can use LinkedIn. That's what I love about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is not cold emailing. The cool thing about LinkedIn is all of these people, right? You connect with 50 people a day, but you just make like 4 offers. What happens to the other 46? Well, these 4, like the remaining 46 times 30 days, so like the remaining 1,400, they may be amazing clients, but just not today. A lot of people, you connect with these HR leaders, like today, this week, this month, it's not the best timing for them. Maybe they don't have the problem that you solve, or maybe they don't think they have it, or maybe they have another priority, or maybe they just hired a coach like you. Maybe that coach in 2 months from now, they'll realize it's not the right fit and they're going to be looking for a new coach. So how do you fully leverage LinkedIn to grow your coaching and consulting business? Well, I just gave you the short-term game here to book some calls, but there's a long-term game that is even more interesting. And the long-term game involves you raising your authority, your credibility in the eye of these people, warming them up by providing them value, and then having them come to you. And that's like, these are the best calls. Because when these people come to you, they're like, hey, Pat, my name is Julie. You don't know me, but I know you. I've been following you. I kept telling you, like, I kept talking about you to my boss. And hey, like, we think we need your help. We love the work that you did with, we check your client testimonial and everything. We think you're a guy, but we just want to like make sure. And by the way, my boss is on the call too. Like, you know how amazing these sales calls are versus like the cold ones? They're already like 80% closed. So this is the game where most people, they don't know how to play it. And it's super simple, but it requires a consistency, so commitment, and also dedication to really knowing who you're going after. If you're a generalist, if you're the kind of person who's like, yeah, I'm a coach, but I coach all sorts of people, like HR leaders, mechanics, lawyers, plumbers, that won't work. It has to be like one specific type of people. Let's say we still continue with the HR leaders, because you're going to be talking to them across the platform. So when I say you're going to be talking to, like, when these women, because most of them are women, but also men, but when these, like most of them women, they will go on your profile, LinkedIn profile. At one point they will go. Maybe you've just connected with them, they're curious, they'll just have a look. Or maybe, at one point they'll have a need and they'll go, like, they'll see one of your posts and they'll go have a look. Everything there has to be almost like it's a landing page. It's a marketing collateral. It's not your resume, because most people use LinkedIn as a resume because they're in the corporate world. So it makes sense to kind of use that space as a resume, because they're, they want to be employable. You don't want to be employable. You want people to trust you and work with you. You want them to give you their business. So your LinkedIn profile is not for you. It's not about your accomplishments. It's not about your 4.0 GPA. It's not about the fact that you were the fastest running person on track and fields and whatever. They don't care that you love tennis. They don't. They care about themselves and the problem they have. So for example, if you go on my LinkedIn, by the way, if you're seeing this and you want to connect on LinkedIn, just look me up. I'm going to leave my LinkedIn at the bottom. You'll see, like, from the very get-go, when you connect with me, like, you look at the top, it says something like similar to, helping or mentoring experts to build and grow their 20K a month business, coaching and consulting business, something like that. I don't say I'm the CEO of my own business. No one cares that I'm the CEO of my own business. So people care about themselves, not like they don't care about you. So you build your profile in a way that it answers 2 questions for them. The first question is, how can this guy help me? So it has to be really clear how you can help them. And the second question is that the right guy to help me? Because these are 2 different ones. Like, you could say, yeah, okay, Pat looks like the kind of guy who can help me. But then you're going to be like, but is he the right guy? Because there's probably other guys like him. So that's why when you go on my profile, you're going to see testimonials and what my clients say about me and stuff like that. And you're going to see my background image is me in front of a group of people. So like, oh, he's not just saying that he does that. Like, he's actually doing it. I can see it. I can see his clients. okay, that's legit enough for me to reach out to Pat and say, let's get on the call. I've earned that call. So you got to do that. But if you're serving all sorts of different people, who are you going to be addressing yourself on your profile? You can't address yourself to a plumber and to an HR leader and to a lawyer at the same time. Forget it. They think differently, they speak differently, they're going to be relating to you differently. So you got to pick one. So which one is it going to be? So that's why it's really important to specialize. So when you have that, so on one end, you're adding a lot of people, right? So most of those, like a lot of those, will go and have a look at your profile. And then I just said that some of those are not ready yet, right? So what do we do with the people who are not ready yet? Because if you don't do anything, you just connect, start a conversation, they never answer back, you're getting like a shit ton of conversations starting. So like the people from last week, you don't even see them anymore. Like they're gone. Like LinkedIn it's not well organized, and you can't like just keep tabs of all the conversation you've started, and you would go crazy. So what do? How do you warm all of these people up and have them come back to you? It's by putting some content out there. Content that people crave. What people? Your people. These HR leaders. Every day, Monday to Saturday, I'm going to give you Sunday off. You go out there and you speak their language. You speak the language of those who give you their business. Like when they've been triggered, when they do have the problem that you solve and they need it solved now, you're going to go there every day and you're going to talk to these women. You're going to envision that woman or that man, that HR leader that has the problem you solve right now, and you're going to speak to that, only that, every day. The pain that comes with that for them personally, the struggles for the business, the stress that this brings, how amazing the situation is going to be when the problem is fixed, what they shouldn't do to fix the problem or what they should do to fix the problem, right? So you're just talking their language, because you're adding thousands of people and they're all susceptible to get to the point where they need help with that. So you are a lighthouse, right? Ships in the middle of the night in a storm, and there's like, they're close to the shore and there's like rocks and they don't want to crash into the rocks. There's this lighthouse that shines its light to help the ships navigate. You will be that lighthouse. You shine your light. These HR leaders, when they need you, they'll know where you are and they'll find you. But just like a real lighthouse, you can't shine your light once a week and then let the ships crash in the rocks 6 days a week. That's why you need to be there, so that you stay top of mind. If you're not consistent with this, they will, like, people forget really quickly. They'll be like, yeah, what was that guy's name? Fuck, I forgot. Okay, I'm gonna go with someone else. So you need to be consistent about it. And then what's gonna happen is you'll know when they're ready, because they'll come and they'll look at your profile. With Sales Navigator, you get to see everyone who sees your profile. So they'll come to see your profile, or they will give you a thumbs up or a like or a love on your posts, or they will start commenting on your posts. These are like potential clients that just raising their hand. That's like the equivalent of saying, hey, like, I'm interested. So when they do that, you'll go back to them. You start a conversation again. You're like, hey, Julie, thanks for stopping by on my post today. How's everything going on your end? Oh, Pat, yeah. Sorry, I've never answered, you back 2 months ago when we connected, because most people are like that. But we're at that point, like, I was listening to your post today and this is exactly us and we need help. Can we talk? You can have like a bunch of those. But again, if you are a generalist, or if you don't even really know who you're talking to, your post won't be powerful enough and this won't work. So that's the power of specializing and working with one group of people. You need to know them well enough so that you can start carving some messaging, putting yourself out there. And if you want some examples, again, check my profile and look at everything I'm putting out there. And you can reverse engineer that for your own niche. or we can book a call, and we can see if I can help you on a higher level. But yeah, so that's how we do it, guys. Like, really, like, that's how people leverage LinkedIn organically to book 20, 30, 40, 50 calls. Absolutely. Right? So it's, you work the short term, you connect with people, you start conversations. Those who have a need right now, good, you bring them on the phone. But you also work the long term. You raise your credibility, you position yourself in the market, you become a leader. You're the guy who always puts yourself out there speaking to these women so that they can find you when they need you. And that's it, really. This is how you do it. Right? Now, the difficulty lies in how to do it. Like, how to craft like this amazing LinkedIn profile, how to make sure that you're finding your niche the right way. How do you like run these conversations? Like, what's the messaging like? How do we make that work? What am I talking about exactly when I'm putting myself out there? Do I do video? Do I do, not do videos? How do I keep track of all of that? How do I make sure that I get unstuck when I'm stuck? Because it won't work from day one. So if that's the case, if you're serious, if you want to leverage LinkedIn to grow your business, I don't know where you're at right now, but if you want to add $10,000, $20,000 a month, consistent business, here's my offer. Let's hop on a call. Let's do a call. I call them a strategy session. We're going to talk for 30 minutes. We're going to talk about your business, see where you are, where you're trying to go, but more importantly, what's holding you back. We'll talk about that. I'll give you some ideas. We'll talk about the game plan, what it should look for you. And then if I feel like we're a good fit, I'll make you an offer. I'll tell you, hey, this is what I do. This is how I think I can help. And then if you're like, yeah, like that sounds good, I'll make you an offer for us to work together. So if you want to take advantage of that, let's do it. So basically, the link is down there. Just use a link, book a call. I'm going to be happy to do that with you. And yeah, so maybe I'll see you there. If not, we have also a Facebook group, right? Quest to 10K. So if you've never heard of it, it's a really cool group. It's free. It's for people who want to get to their first $10,000 a month. Ton of resources there. I even do like a call, like every week I do a live in the group specifically, and I answer questions from everyone in the group. Not all of them, but because the group has grown to quite a few people now, but I take as many questions as I can, and I just dive into those. So again, the link is down there, so would be great to have you. And that's it for today. So hopefully, if you guys are trying LinkedIn, let me know in the comment below. Let me know maybe what your niche is and what you're trying to accomplish with LinkedIn, and go and crush it. And I'll see you in the next video. All right? Peace.